Hi, it's Jennifer from Mud Hand Clay and Art Studio, and I'm going to be making a mug with you today. So this project is good for our adult students. It's good for our kids, maybe ages 8 and up. And it's just a basic mug project, a hand-built mug that we can make. So first what you're going to do is take out your supplies. So in your kit, or if you have these things at home, go ahead and pull them out. You'll need a mat, you'll need a needle tool, and you'll need a scoring tool. So a scoring tool, if you don't know, is just like a little rake-like tool that you can get. You can have it in your kit. Our kids' kits come with a toothpick, which is just fine. It replaces these two items here. A skewer would also work well. You'll also have a paintbrush so that you can apply your slip. Your slip also comes in your kit. Depending on what kind of clay, you can choose different kinds of clay. The basic kit comes with a low fire white clay. So I know it looks gray right now, but after it's fired, the clay is a white color. And then what you'll do is paint that clay or tell us the color you want and we'll paint it. And then when you pick up your pieces, they'll be all finished and ready. Or if you're going to paint it yourself, you'll paint it at home, pick up your glazes, paint it at home, and then bring it back for the final firing. And so that's how it's going to work. So what you'll do is you'll take your clay out of its package. It's also got a plastic wrap around it so that it stays nice and fresh. You definitely you'll have a really difficult time working with dry clay. Plus it won't be nice to work with. It'll crack and break, and it really won't be very successful. It will come in a block shape like this. And so what you'll want to do is break up that clay, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. And then your kit may also have a rolling pin if you opted for a rolling pin. You may have one at home. If you do use some tools from your kitchen, make sure you retire them and use them just for clay. So either get a new rolling pin just for the studio, or your crafts, or you can buy one from us. These are about $12. And then we also have a wooden roller that looks like this, and these are $3. Roll out my clay. So you'll want to create a slab that is the same size as our template. So you'll go from the center and press away. Set this out for maybe an hour or two and allow it to set up so that it's pliable but not brittle. Okay, so here I have a piece. I ended up not using this right away, so I just wrapped it with a piece of plastic wrap. So save your plastic wrap that comes with your clay, and if for some reason, like this happens to me all the time, for some reason you get called away, the kids need you or something, then just wrap your clay in this plastic like this and set it aside, and that way you don't have to worry about it drying out. All right, so now what do I mean about pliable? So this clay I'm able to still manipulate it, and it's still soft enough for me to move, but it's not super flimsy. So my other piece, just so you see, you could tell the difference. It's very flimsy. So that's why I want it to set up a little bit, okay? All right, now, you'll go ahead and take your needle tool and trim out your shape. All right, save your scraps because we are going to use them. And then for all of your edges, you can go ahead and take your sponge, wring out your water. So your clay kit comes with a water dish. So you just go ahead and add water to it, squeeze out this sponge. The sponge comes in your clay kit. and just smooth your edges. You don't want to use too much water here. Too much water will make this a sloppy mess and really hard to work with. If that happens, then just let it dry. You could try and take a paper towel and kind of dampen off some of that water. But try not to get these slabs too wet. So what are you going to decorate the body of your mug with? So this mug, I had a nice pretty texture. If you don't have these texture rollers, they look like this, wood rollers. I can add a link for where to get these rollers. I love these rollers. I have lots of wooden stamps and textures that I will add a link to. But if you don't have those, you can use something like a stick. I mean, I literally was out on a walk today and found this stick and just broke it. And I have a nice texture here to roll with. I also got a pine cone. So the pine cones that you want to look for have a nice flat bottom, and then the spiral in the bottom of the pine cone looks like a flower. So pretty. I also picked up some maple leaves, which are kind of shriveling up on me here. Some other pretty leaves that I liked with little flowers. And so you really could just go outside, go for a walk, and pick up some pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and use my roller on my slab. Something else I want to say. So you have these scraps, right? Well, once your clay is rolled out and dried out, you don't want to go practicing on it. So make sure you know what you want to make, what you want to decorate this like before you actually start. Because once you start to roll in your design or lay in your design, it's really difficult to take it off. And so use your scraps of clay and just practice. So for example, this piece here. Okay, I didn't like how I rolled that, so I want to reposition it and give it a little roll. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put my stick down the side. Here we go. I like the way that that looks. And I'm going to take my needle tool and just do a little line, a wavy line. Okay. And then I'm going to use this pine cone to create a little flower shape in the top. Okay, simple as that. So now once you get your design done, what you'll do is pick up your rectangle and turn it to where the edges join. So you can have it be exactly flush like that, but what I like to do so it has a really nice fit is just overlap those edges just a little bit, and then take that needle tool of yours and instead of cutting straight down, I want you to cut at a 45-degree angle, okay? So it'll look like this, 45-degree angle, straight down. Then when you open it up, you'll take off those extra pieces, and with your scoring tool, you're going to score all along that edge. Okay, so that slip I was telling you about, I'll go ahead and open that up. And with your brush, go ahead and brush those score marks with your slip, okay? And then we'll fit those together. And if done correctly, they fit together nicely. Now what you're going to do is you'll have this line here. So you're going to want to carefully smooth that line. That's my son Grayson. And inside too. So when you smooth the inside, you're going to hold the outside so that when you push on your clay and smooth it, it doesn't misshapen this. Okay, there we go. And turn it upside down and do the same thing with the bottom. Okay, so now we have the body of our mug finished. Set it aside, and we're going to want to create the bottom. So take a piece of your clay, one piece of your scrap, and you're going to set your, got a little leaf there, you're going to set your mug on top. So I'm going to thin this out just a little bit. Okay, not too much thinner. Okay, so with my mug setting on top, I'm going to go ahead and make a little line around, just a little sketched line in the top of the clay. I'm not cutting all the way through. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut all the way through and follow my line. Again, save your scraps. We're going to use those. We're going to need a handle, right? Okay, so turn your mug upside down. Go ahead and score all along the outside. And then on the bottom of your piece, you're going to score but just around the outside. And it's on the top. Add your slip. At any time, you know, that you want to take some more time on this, if you're following along while you're doing it, then go ahead and put the two scored pieces together. Then you can just pause this video, right? I mean, that's the beauty of technology. You just pause and then pick up when you're done. So what I like to do is tap around the outside of this mug, and then you'll see, I'll show you what it looks like. So it's kind of rough looking. So now I'm going to take my finger. Don't use any more water either. Try and keep your hands dry. You can keep a towel by you if you want to keep your fingers dry. But the more water that you have for this step, it makes it more difficult to work with your clay. You can also use your sponge. Just take all that water off of your sponge and smooth it around on your clay. After you're done, your mug should, you know, be all together. And then you've got the top of your mug and you've got the inside of your mug. What I want you to do is take your slip, and along the inside, I want you to put that slip inside that crack there. There really shouldn't be very much crack because you've smoothed all the outside, we've tapped it all around the outside, you've scored it, you've added slip. I mean, it should be pretty well sealed. Go ahead and set it down. Now this edging, I like to have the edging be nice and soft so that when you drink from the mug, then it will be nice on your lips so that you don't have to have that rough edge like this. So what you're going to do is take your mug and just pinch, and try not to pinch up too much. You're not trying to really change the thickness too much, but just get rid of those edges. So you pinch and turn. Now with that sponge, you can smooth around the rim as well. So it's at this time that you can change your shape a little bit. However you leave it is how it's going to freeze. Okay, so the edging, I like the way that that looks. And now we're going to set it aside and make our handle. So if your hands are wet at all from working with that clay, go ahead and dry them off. And you're going to take some of your clay. So here's one of my strips from when I cut the clay. So if you want your mug to have a handle that is flat like this, you can leave it just like this and kind of trim it out. You can use a ruler if you want to get really precise. You can take this flat piece of clay and smooth the edges on both sides. That'd be terrible if you pick up your mug and it's, you know, so sharp. So you want to make sure you knock down those edges, make it smooth. So you can have your mug have a flat handle like this if you want. So you just curve it. Or you can have it be rounded. If you want it to be rounded, then you would just kind of squeeze this. Remove my mug. And we'll roll it out into a coil shape. So if you want your handle rounded, you can definitely do that. Just have it rounded. And then an important thing to do is to create a surface for your handle to be connected to your mug with. So I just drape it over my finger, press down so it creates that area to hold on to the mug. And then decide on your length. You're going to do the same thing down here, is create a surface. And any lines that happen in your clay, right now is the time to smooth them. Okay, so here is that handle. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. So you'll do the same as we've been doing to put all these pieces together. You're going to score here. And I do like to cover up that seam. Usually it's uglier than the rest of the piece. So I cover up that seam by putting my handle there. And if you've put everything together nicely, there should be no problem at all with this. Go ahead and add your slip. Hey. Okay. And put those pieces together. This is a good time to make sure that your handle is straight and not all curved and wonky. If your fingers get too wet, go ahead and dry them off. And let me smooth this. Make sure this handle is attached. Make sure you've scored it and added slip. Your clay pieces will stick together while they're wet, but if you don't do the scoring process, then once your clay dries, it's going to pop off. Okay, so that's nice. And then around that area, I'm going to paint some of this slip, just like you did with the inside of the mug. And that's it. You've got your handle. Go ahead, when it dries a bit, to go ahead and carve your name in the bottom. And that's it. Set it aside to dry out. After about a week, then you can go ahead and bring it back to the studio. We'll fire it for you. And when it is finished, you can pick it up and you'll have your very own mug that you can drink out of at home. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, you can get a template from me, or you can make your own. So to make your own, I would just use a piece of paper and figure out how high you want your mug to be and the dimension of it. How wide do you want it to be? Okay, so this literally could be a template. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this demonstration, and I will talk to you soon.